Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's session. And we have Dr. Simranjeet Kaur here with us today with an amazing journey of her own, transitioning from dentistry to neuroscience. And let's hear more about it. Dr. Simranjeet, you can take away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me just see if I can see everybody because I don't want to feel that I'm just talking to my own presentation. So, okay. Hi, everyone. So, I am Dr. Simran and I did my BDS from India. And then I didn't want to go with like the basic option of going for MDS or any other option. So, it was pretty hard for me to find an option which is financially affordable and a better option, something which can give me a bigger perspective to healthcare. So we can just start with how I ended up with the process and when did I decide. So I was in my fourth year of BDS, and that's when the COVID was almost like at its peak, and I was still figuring out what would be my next step. So I tried the clinic, like I tried going in the clinic and learn the basic procedures. I also tried some kind of non-clinical roles online, and I was not able to find the best option. But the clinical dentistry part made me realize that it was something which was very repetitive for me, and I didn't want to do it. And plus, the major factor was that I am not coming from a dental family or a dental background, and I didn't know if I would be okay starting building a dental clinic and everything from a scratch, and with the uncertainty and the saturation going on in India, especially during the time when I was in my fourth year when the COVID was hitting, everything was shut down. I was not very sure if that's the career path I wanted to take. Then comes the second option, which is going for TDS or clearing the license exams anywhere else, like in UK or Australia, and that is also extremely costly. And it's not just the cost, I guess the whole process of applying for the exam, studying, you may not pass the exam in the first go, and then I think for INBD you have to come to US, give the exam, I and then it's like, even if you clear the exam and if you get the dental school, you will be probably settling down in US. So I was not almost okay with that option too. But that's when I started searching for other courses, and I got to know that as a BDS or as an NDBS also, you can go for research programs. You can go for research masters. So I started checking that, like I started checking masters programs, like STEM master programs, so that I can just have my masters for 2 years and then continue with the job in healthcare. So that's when I decided to go for these kind of programs. Coming to how did I decide? So I had few factors in my mind. Firstly, I wanted to increase my horizon of working. I wanted to see how the whole bigger picture of healthcare works, like how the administration works, research works, and what can I do with my dental degree in terms of the jobs. So that was the first factor. Second factor was definitely how much budget I had. So I was taking an approximate estimate of like 25 to 30 lakhs, and I didn't want to extend it more than that. Third factor was definitely the cost of living. I wanted to choose the university or the college where the cost of living is not too high, so that my ultimate budget shouldn't be like around 60 lakhs or something. And then I wanted to know if I have to spend a lot of money on the exams, or what kind of exams I am giving. Is there some kind of license or anything which I have to get? So these were the factors, and I started my process during my internship. Like as soon as I was done with my final year, I I had a checklist of things which I had to do, and that's how I started with the process. So coming to how you can apply for it and how much time it takes. So if you're someone who is interested in getting into these courses or anything which doesn't require INBD or a non-dental, non-clinical kind of research programs or master's programs, I would suggest to take at least 1 year prior, like dedicate a whole year to it because there will be a lot of exams, lot of process, which you will not be very much aware of. And even if there will be someone giving you a proper guidance, sometimes it gets really hard. So, um, firstly, you have to give the IELTS exam, which is the language exam, and it is the mandatory. Secondly, you have a GRE or a GMAT. GMAT is mostly for business schools, and GRE is the graduate record examination, which is for all the master programs, which are in terms of STEM related courses. So GRE is not at all what we have studied, but it's not something which is not doable. It has basic maths, what we have studied till 12th, English, and analytical reasonings and all. It takes time. It takes at least 3 to 6 months of time to prepare for the exam, give it. And I would suggest that if you're planning to take these kind of courses and take these exams, you have to be kind of prepared because you spend a lot of money on them. Like if you see in INR, it costs around, I think, 15 to 16,000 for GRE and then 14,000 for IELTS. And I would suggest that you can take coaching or you can study at home, but you have to dedicate enough amount of time for these exams so that you score well. Although there are very good universities and colleges where GRE is not mandatory, so that's a good thing. But GRE definitely helps you with the scholarship part. Next thing is the documentation process. So let's say that you got your dental degree, like your provisional degree, and your 4 years of transcripts. So you will go to your university and you will get an envelope with your transcripts and your provisional degree and everything, and you have to file for the VES evaluation. So whatever scores you have in your BDS all the 4 years, that will be converted into a US based GPA system. And that is how your admission process will work. Like those best score which you will get will be considered for your evaluation for your universities, like for the acceptance or for your offer letter. So that's another very important process. And the whole thing, including these process plus applying for the universities and getting the offer letter, interviews, and everything, it takes at least 6 to 7 months. And it's always good to apply early because as soon as you apply, they will get your profile, they will evaluate it, and if you are like running early, running ahead of time, you have high chances of getting the offer letter before the competition for universities increases, especially for the universities where they pay you stipend for the whole time that you are there. So after that, coming to how to decide the colleges. There are colleges which really appreciate diverse backgrounds. So it's not like if you do not have a basic research degree, you cannot apply to these courses because these colleges will consider your degree as an exceptional and it will consider you as someone with a specialty. So, for example, if you're a dentist or if you are a doctor or if you're someone from a pharmacological background, and you're applying for masters in biotech, masters in biomedical sciences, masters in bioinformatics, or any kind of these research programs. For dentists, they also have the programs like oral health sciences, oral biology. If you want to take those courses as an entry point and then go for DDS. So those courses are for that. So when it comes to deciding colleges, those are the two factors. First is that do you want to change your career path completely? Like you're very sure that you did your BDS for 4 years, you may have practiced for a while, and then you're pretty sure that this is not for me. I don't want to do this. It's not fulfilling the career needs which I had after my BDS, and you decide that, okay, I want to go for a master's, which is affordable and it is change in course. I'm okay with not studying dentistry further. That's one option. Second option is that for you, DDS is very costly as of now, and you just graduated as a BDS. I take a lot of sessions, a lot of one-on-one sessions of students, and their major concern is that no, our parents spent a lot of money on BDS already. They are not ready to spend money for DDS. So that is your second option, that you consider these master programs as an entry point to the country, and then you go for dental school. So in the first option, you can go for degrees like biomedical research, biotechnology, bioinformatics, clinical research, pharmacovigilance, and there are a lot of program links in my on my page, Neurodentist, when you can just scroll the reels and you can get the links for the good colleges. Secondly, if you want to go for DDS, I would suggest to go for master programs, which is like oral biology, oral health sciences, um, oral uh, masters in craniofacial structures and anatomy. So what happens that if you take these courses, firstly, your knowledge of dentistry increases. Secondly, because it's a full proper master STEM program, you get 3 years to work. And thirdly, that let's say that you finish these program, you finish masters in oral health sciences, and you finish and you apply for the dental school, but by some chance you don't get it. There are a lot of companies who need dentists to do the non-clinical jobs. Like there is a company which is known as Westag. There are companies which make dental materials. So those companies need a dental expertise and they hire students from these programs because that's what you do. You do research in dentistry. You write papers in dentistry and you get a job in that field, even if you do not end up getting into DDS. Third option is that your option towards academics opens. So let's say that you are getting your oral biology degree from Texas A&M. You will always be offered a PhD in that program, which will lead you to academics and research where you do not need a license. So those are your options if you are struggling what to do after dentistry, but you still want to stay in dentistry. And previous option I've told you already. Coming to cost and expenses. So Um, I would say that it always depends on person to person. For me, the cost was a very major factor. And as I've told you that I wanted to get into a program which was like 25 to 30 lakhs. So my program did cost around that much, including the living expenses. And I've got stipend from my second year. And I got a part-time job when I came here. So that made my finances really well established. And I'd never felt like I'm getting into a debt trap. If finances is not a restriction for you, there are amazing programs given by NYU or like the bigger universities like Boston universities, and you can go for that. But I think the cost majorly depends from your own perspective. Like you need to fix your budget and you need to find colleges as per that. I provided links for the universities which are not very costly. It comes from minimum 25 to maximum maybe like 40, 45, including the living. Coming to the next option that why I didn't choose dentistry. So I really do not want to offend someone over here, but I want to state facts. Firstly, right now in India, the scenario has been changed a lot. If you see like 20, 30 years back, you will see that people who have established themselves as a dentist after MDS or as a prosthodontist or orthodontist, or like in general dentists who opened their clinics since 20 years now, they are still running and they are like, they have that patient base. And if I am a patient for a particular dentist, like if I have a particular dentist, I don't want to change my dentist and give a chance to a new one. So that created a lot of saturation for us, like for the recent graduates. When you go to a clinic under someone to work, they don't pay you well. They make you work, and half of the times they don't pay you. Half of the times they don't pay you enough for your own basic needs also. So I think the pay is really less, and that is something which shouldn't happen because the degree is intense. Like 5 years of hard work which you do as a BDS graduate, it's not a joke. And why I didn't choose to go for dentistry in US, I firstly, I think it is completely because of my own personal interest and my own skills. I didn't want to just stay in dentistry. I wanted to see the bigger picture and work at a managerial position where I can handle people and maybe work in a company or have something of my own. And secondly, of course, I was not ready to pay the cost which it takes to go for DDS. When I got into Masters in Biomedical Sciences, I was not very sure how things are going to turn for me. But in my second year, I got chance to rotate with other departments like you get immunology, cancer, neuroscience, pharmacology. So I tried rotating in each and every department, and I tried what do you call? I tried the wet lab experience, which is basically the experiments that you do in the lab, and I tried the bioinformatics part, which is an amazing field right now to go for. That made me realize that I want to go for something which involves brain and bioinformatics. So I finally ended up in a lab where I work as a bioinformatician and a neuroscientist. I get a data from brain. I do my own experiments, and whatever data we get from the brain, we section the brains, we get the RNA isolation done, and then we finally do the data analysis using the bioinformatics. And that's how I finally ended up into neuroscience, and I genuinely enjoy it because I think I I feel like I never just wanted to do dentistry. So that's just how my journey to neuroscience ended. And that's something which I would be wanting to do in future also. I would be applying for the jobs in the companies, in the healthcare, in the universities where I will be working as a neuroscientist, and I will be mostly doing the bioinformatics part. And I think it's amazing. You learn so much when you do something out of the box, and it has been a major learning curve for me. So yeah, that's what I am doing, and I'm up for any questions.
Can you tell us about what's the required IELTS score that you would like need when you apply?
Uh, I think above 7 is good. So
Okay.
minimum requirement for IELTS is above 7. The GPA is mostly 3, but in some universities it's above 3.6. And for GRE, I think the score has to be like above 300 out of 360, 340, sorry, my bad, yes. So for GRE, it's like you have a separate score for mathematics and English. So it's like 130, 130 above in both the cases.
Okay. And what about the resources? Have you like what are the resources you use for IELTS?
For IELTS, I think you can just go to the IDP site, and they have their own practice questions and practice worksheets and everything. And they also provide links to few YouTube videos, and there are people who actually take classes on YouTube and they upload it.
Okay.
So I think that is more than enough. I think one part where, uh, especially if you're from India, you need time to invest on is listening part. I think you need to give at least like a week or something to get used to the listening so that when you're listening and doing the questions, it doesn't take much time. So yeah.
Okay. We have one question on what is the salary like in the jobs after this course?
So, if you go for these courses, it's like it depends a lot on the role. And for example, if you are working as a scientist one, your salary will start around 60 to 70,000 per month. Oh, sorry, per year. And if you are starting to work as a bioinformatician in a good company or in a good workplace, it goes up to 80 to 80,000 and above. Yes. So that's the starting salary, but then it keeps increasing. And if you are planning to go for PhD, which is another option that you can take directly from BDS, like you just have to get at least one research paper and then you can apply for PhD, which is fully funded. And that starts with at least 120K per year. So that's another good option.
Okay. And how long is this program you said? Is it 2 years or 3 years?
It's mostly 1 year, 6 months or 7 months, mostly 2 years. Yes.
Okay.
It's like a proper master's degree. Yeah.
Okay. And are all the programs offering stipend, or is it just a couple of the colleges?
So, honestly speaking, there are two, three factors here. Firstly, your profile matters a lot. If you have a good profile, um, if you have a good profile, you do get a good part-time job, and that is counted as your stipend. Not every student receives that stipend. It depends on your profile. It depends on your scores. Not every university pays a stipend. It's like a uh, limited colleges or universities that pay it. And what was your another question?
About like the stipend itself, about how long is your program and is all the programs being stipend?
No, so there are like n number of universities that offer these programs, but there are very limited universities which offer the stipend. If
Okay.
you apply for PhD program, you get stipend from the day you are into the course. So that's why it's fully funded.
Okay.
I think I've got a question.
Yeah. It says, what is a good
Uh,
profile? Is it work experience, research, or what makes the profile stand?
yeah, so especially if you're coming from a dental background, we generally do not have any research experience, and that's a fault here. So what I did when I was in my internship, I was doing my internship from KLE Dental College, Bangalore, and I got my 1 year of research experience, and I did put myself in all kind of research going on in the department. And I wanted to take a webinar on this topic, like from my own page. Like I was planning to do this webinar where I can tell people how you can get into research. Because if you will get into research, you will get an experience which you will put in your profile, and that makes your profile exceptional. That's how you will get the scholarship and the stipend. So yes, it is definitely the profile. You need to like work on it really hard. You cannot just finish your 4 years of dentistry and say that, oh, I am not interested in dentistry. I want to apply for some other course. Because if a university is providing you admission, offer letter, visa, stipend, they need to have a good reason for it, right? So yes, if you are planning to apply for any of these courses, be sure that you work really hard on your profile.
Okay. And for these programs, like when is the application start?
Application starts usually now, like this is actually not now, it starts from mostly September end or the October first week, and it goes up to February, March in some colleges, and some colleges do extend their deadlines to April. But
Okay.
I always advise that if you're planning to go for these programs, start your process from September, October, so that you can start filling your applications in December and you get your offer letter or your acceptance or rejection by March max. So it gets really easy with your visa process and everything.
Okay. And do you like how is your class size as well? Is it all international students, or do you also go with traditional?
So it depends on place to place. Like with me, where I work, it's usually people from diverse backgrounds. It's not just Indians. It's like there are Americans, there are people from Russia, people from Italy and Germany and other places. And I think that makes it really better. So the class size is usually around 20 to 25, but it's like we take semester with the PhDs also. So yeah, kind of that much. It's not, they don't take a lot of students, and that's how you get to know if it's a good university. They do not take a lot of students. So yeah.
Okay. And what is your favorite thing to do, like besides, when you're not attending your course on a daily basis?
So I do not have to attend any course now. Like I'm on my full-time internship right now. So I
Okay.
just work in my lab. I have my own project and I work on that. But when I'm not doing that, I usually go to gym or meet meet friends. But yeah, nothing. It's not like very happening life, to be honest. But yeah, I do enjoy the work. So yeah, that is that.
All right. This was exciting and very interesting Q&A. I'm hoping that we have covered a lot of questions. And if we do have some more, I think y'all can definitely reach out to Dr. Kaur on her Instagram page.
Yes. So yeah, so I just wanted to tell about this. So I have my Instagram page and I take one-on-one sessions from there, and we are also about to launch the website. So
Mhm.
there'll be like other helps provided in the website, like if someone wants to know more about the colleges they are selecting, or the kind of letter of recommendations they want, or how they can upgrade their statement of purpose and everything. So you can just go to the website and you can click on whatever things you want. There is a proper email ID through which you can email your queries and everything. And as of now, the website is not like launched on the Instagram, but the Zoho link is there for booking one-on-one sessions. And there are proper slots. You can just go over there, book your slot, um, do everything from there, and we can like have a proper detailed discussion. You can always send your questions before the session, like maybe 1 or 2 days before the session, so that if there is something which I don't know, I can search it for you and we can have a detailed discussion on that. So I just wanted to inform that.
Yeah, I mean, we will be happy to even forward them on our stories once your website, and
Yes,
you
yes,
can
I will
send
be
me those
doing that.
links forward too, and I'll be happy to put them on
Yes,
our group pages as well.
that means
All
a
right.
lot. Thank you.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kaur, and thank you, others, for joining us today. I hope that this was insightful for you guys and will definitely help you on your journey forward. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and
Thank you.
evening.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.